Mummas, and welcome to this week's session of Exercise Insight, where we're going to be looking at your glutes. Well, we're not looking at them. This is weird. Okay, moving on. Our glutes are vitally important when it comes to having a strong and healthy body. When it comes to it, a lot of people, they think doing squats and lunges are what's going to help to get themselves a booty, is going to strengthen their glutes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. Unfortunately, what happens is our body is very clever at adapting and being able to work around imbalances, which means that when our glutes aren't strong and they're kind of sleepy, especially in today's society when we sit so much, when they're sleepy and almost like dormant completely, what happens is our other muscles kick in and help do the work. And therefore these muscles continue to go, oh, I'll just keep sleeping. But what we want to do is we want to wake them up. We want to teach them how to fire and how to engage. And so that's what today's session is all about. Just think, when you work out your glutes, not only are you doing yourself a favor by burning extra energy because it's such a big muscle group, but it's also going to help with reducing back pain. It's going to help with your posture and your alignment. The first exercise we're going to look at is a simple pelvic tilt. Now this is something you can do literally from the day that you have your surgery. It may not feel like you want to, but if your back's feeling really stiff, you can gently just rock it back and forth. Not hard, just very gently back and forth, just to free up the back a little bit. You also want to use this movement before you first initially get out of bed as well, because I don't know about you, but I remember the first time getting out of bed, the look I gave my midwife when she was like, cool, we need to get up and we need to get you walking. And I'm like, you know I've just had major surgery, right? And there's a lot of pain happening, so this is not a clever idea. But the key is you want to prepare yourself. Anyway, moving on. Today's session we'll be looking at a progression of bridge options. So for you might be right at day dot, therefore you start the first exercise. For others of you, you may be weeks, months, even years down the track, and that's okay, because in today's session there is an option for you, and there's a progression and there's a challenge. And you'll see that I get my sweat on. I'm only doing it for 30 seconds, but hey, each progression is quite challenging depending on where you're at in your journey. The key is, if you want to change and you want results, you need to challenge your body. Initially in that first few weeks, it's all about healing, so therefore it's more about mindful movement and making sure you're being really careful with your posture. As you start to progress, you're able to progress the exercise. So initially the pelvic tilt may not seem, for a lot of you, like a challenge, but here's the thing, find the level that is a challenge. You want to be able to get to the point where you can do 3 lots of 30 seconds without losing your form. If you can do that, that is where you should be at. If you can do that with great ease and not much effort, you can progress to the next level. So check it out, see what you think. I encourage you, subscribe, click the bell below so that you won't miss any of these episodes, because your recovery is worth it and so are you. And how many know that when it comes to our C-section recovery, life is better together, right? Doing it together rather than by ourselves. And please comment below if you have any questions, you're not quite sure, or maybe you're beyond the exercise I've just done now and you want something more challenging. But again, remember, we never add difficulty when we are subtracting technique. Always quality over quantity. Alright ladies, start with your feet together, hands down by your side. Tilt your feet out and then bring your heels up, nice straight line. Rib cages down, and what we're going to do is tilt the hips back and forth. Off we go. This is level 1. This can be done literally from the day of your surgery, because it's just going to free up your back when it gets really tight. So before you go to move outside of your bed, like before you go to try and stand up, please pelvic tilt just to free up the back to prepare the muscles to be able to move. So it's nothing harsh, you're not jamming it into the ground, just gently rocking your hips back and forth. And you're done. Fantastic. Next one we're going to move into is a mini roll up. So hands on your hips, just gently halfway lift and come back down again. You're going to think about bringing your spine vertebrae by vertebrae off, just halfway lift and peel it back and reverse again. So coming up,
Nice and steady, just slightly. Again, this is one that you can do also from day dot, unless otherwise spoken to by your GP or your medical team. That's it. Coming up and coming down again gently. That's it. Lifting off and relax. Well done. Right, the next one we're going to move into is a full roll up. So we're going to go all the way up. Hands are going to be on your hips because you're going to help them to pick up their train tracks. Yeah? Here we go, getting ready. Rib cage down. Transverse engage. Breathing out. Lifting up. Making sure that your hips are still straight. You don't want them tilting to one side. Pushing up, coming up. Rolling back down with control, coming up. Yeah, that's it. And steady and control. Peeling up all the way, pushing through your heels, squeezing your butt cheek like you've got a winning lotto ticket between your butt cheeks. I know, it's stunning really. Great for the glutes. Again, that's it. Breathing out, last one, and you're done coming down. The next one we're going to do is a mermaid. So bring your feet and your knees together. Glue them together and you're going to do the same process. So rib cage is closed, cores engaged, breathing out as you lift. Here we go, breathing out. And breathing in. Excellent. And breathing out. Breathing in. Squeezing your inner thighs together, getting them functioning. Squeezing your glutes and coming back down with control. Breathing out. And coming back down. Making sure, again, keep those headlights on if you need to. Making sure those hips aren't twisting to one side and dropping, which can very easily happen. And relax. Alright, so that's the next one. The next level is a full up and hold. So full bridge and hold again with your feet. Turn your toes out, heels out. That helps you know they're like train tracks. Feet, knees, hips all in a nice straight line. And we're going to lift up, breathing out. Make sure that transverse is on. Control, lower down. And then breathing out. Control. And breathing out. Your glutes your glutes are gonna be on fire by the end of this one. That's it. And crazy to think that I'm not even halfway through the progressions. Control. That's it, coming up, squeeze, and that's the last one. All right, we're gonna try a wide one now. So we've gone from narrow, take your feet out. Again, feet, knees, and hips are gonna stay in line with each other. So we're all gonna focus on staying as a unit. Our knees are coming in, knees are staying in line, coming up. Squeeze that glute, just gets the glutes in a new way. And come back down with control. Breathing out, pushing through, core nice and tight, rib cage closed. I know, I'm like a broken record, eh? That's alright, it just means there's consistency and control. So again, if you want, you can lift your hands up and hold, or you can keep them down by your side. Or if you're wanting to, keep those train tracks knowing, is my hips dropping? And you're done. Good job. The next one we're going to move into is without arms. So we're going to go back, feet together, turn feet out, turn heels out, hands up. Again, we never add to subtract. So when you hear the bell, up we go. Breathing out, exhale, coming up, and we are coming back down again. That's it, and coming up, breathing out. So when we don't want to add to subtract, so therefore, if any of these are ones that you don't feel in control of, you feel like your back is hurting or your core isn't able to continue to be engaged, then you want to go back to the progression where you can control this whole movement. Breathing out, breathing in, and relax. We made it. All right, the next one we're going to do is going to be a bridge up. So you can put your hands down by your side, or like so, and we're going to march the knees, like so. So ready, or hands on your hips if you want to make sure you're keeping it steady. Breathing out. This one's a nice, a nice challenge. What tends to happen is we can tend to drop our hips, so pushing up, keep that core strong, glutes squeeze, really driving through the leg that we're stabilizing on. This glute that we're standing on is doing all the work. That's it. I can feel my workout from this morning. That's it, and squeeze. Breathing out. That was the bell and coming back down again. Yes, it was. Alright, we're going to move on. We're going to try the same thing again, but this time with a straight leg. So we're going to come back up into full bridge, and then we're going to extend the legs out. Off you go. Now again, we never add to subtract. So we never add a level of difficulty to subtract, in the sense not being able to keep the core strong, not being able to stabilize through the hips. It's different if you're progressing and it's a challenge. That's it, keeping those hips square. That's it. But you're able to work towards. Whew. It's different if you're progressing because you've been able to master the last one and this is the new challenge, but not if you're skipping ahead just to be able to do more, because that's actually going to interfere with your recovery. Well done, last one. Soles of your feet together, this is your butterflies. This helps to make sure that your hip flexors are out the way. Letting go, and you're going to, same thing, lift up and squeeze. Could be quite a nice stretch too. Breathing out, making sure these are nice and strong. Again, hips are still going nice and even. So over the next month, maybe what you could do is go, okay, I'm going to commit to doing 3 times a week. I'm going to do some glute work, and I'm going to pick two of the progressions that I'm working on. That's it. Breathing out. Starting at the beginning, once I can do, say, like a minute of each, with really good form, not tensing through the neck, and we're done. Then I can move on to the next one and see how far you can get through the next month.
So there we go, beautiful ladies. There are a list of progressions when it comes to bridges. Work out where you're at the moment. Make sure that you can execute that bridge option with control, with a relaxed neck, with your rib cage closed, with your core engaged and your glutes engaging, obviously, and squeezing before you progress to the next one. And that's not even including options that you can use with other equipment like pillows or bands or weights, etc. So this is all done literally just with your own body weight. And again, remember, we never add difficulty when we are subtracting technique. Always quality over quantity. I hope you have yourself a fantastic week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye!